Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Minimalist Gourmet, where today I'm going to teach you how to make traditional English style lemon curd. This buttery, slightly sweet, and oh so lemony jam goes great on so many things. Let's get started. This recipe is quite simple and very straightforward. It only has 4 ingredients. Begin by cracking 4 eggs in the top part of a double boiler. If you don't have a double boiler, don't worry, neither do I. As you can see here, I'm going to make one on the fly using some equipment that I have on hand. They're pretty straightforward, and once you see how it works, you'll be able to make one as well. A large metal mixing bowl will work perfectly in this application. So if you have one, that's what I recommend you use. Of course, if you have a double boiler, well, you're all set. Just go ahead and use that. The second ingredient is lemon juice. It's where we get the substantial portion of flavor for this dish, and I highly recommend you use fresh squeezed lemon juice if at all possible. I like to roll my lemons on the table, that way I can get out every last bit of juice from them. It took me 3 large-sized lemons in order to get 1/2 of a cup lemon juice. You can filter out the pulp as I'm doing here for a completely smoothed finished product, or you can leave in the pulp if you would like and have a little bit of texture in your final jam. It's completely up to you and based solely on your preference. Ingredient number 3 is sugar. I'm going to be using 2 cups of white sugar to add sweetness and body. I recommend that you use white sugar in this application. If you try using brown sugar or demerara sugar, it really won't create a very good finished product. If that seems like a lot of sugar to you, hey, I said it was delicious. I never said it was low calorie. The order that you add the ingredients to your double boiler doesn't really matter. However, I do like to give everything at this point a nice mix, the eggs, the sugar, and the lemon juice, to give everything a nice mix before adding the final ingredient. Our fourth and final ingredient is 6 ounces of butter. I like to cut the butter up into small cubes so that it melts faster and is easier to integrate into the product as we cook. Go ahead and put your chopped up butter pieces into the pot with your other 3 ingredients, and that's it. We are ready to start cooking. I told you this is a very straightforward recipe. If you're not familiar, this is a double boiler. Simply put, it's a pot of water on the bottom that you boil, and you have another dish, pot, or bowl on top that uses the heat from the steam to cook. This type of cooking method is a lot more gentle than using direct heat and really eliminates the ability of you to burn the lemon curd. With the water in the bottom pot coming up to a gentle boil, we are going to put the upper portion into position. You can use any kind of pot, pan, or metal bowl in the top portion to make your double boiler. The only thing is that it cannot sit so low that it touches the water that's boiling beneath it. As I stir, you can see the top pot is moving quite a bit. This happens because I had to make this double boiler with things I had on hand. However, I didn't like that moving around so much, so I went ahead and fixed it with a little bit of aluminum foil. Notice the top pot's not moving around hardly at all anymore. I simply took some crumpled up aluminum foil and shoved it in between the gap to make it a nice strong and solid base. You want to stir the mix frequently as it comes up to temperature, but not necessarily constantly. Don't leave it for more than 30 seconds or a minute maximum. As it continues to cook, it will begin to thicken. We will measure this thickness by using a spoon. Dip a wooden or metal spoon into the mixture and pull it out. Run your finger across it to clean off a little area and look at what you have. What you're looking for is how easily it drips off the spoon, as well as the area that you clean off with your finger. If it's a nice thickness, the rest of the lemon curd will not continue to drip down and cover the area that you just cleared off. I'm showing you this here early on to show you how thin it is and it is not ready yet. As the mixture continues to cook and thicken, you'll notice that bubbles stay on the surface. This is a good sign that things are going correctly and it is thickening nicely. Testing the thickness again using the back of a spoon, we can see here it is definitely getting closer. I would say this is about medium way cooked, but it's still a little thin for my liking. Notice it's still quite drippy and it doesn't hold a nice solid line when you clear it off with your finger, so we'll cook a little bit longer. This time, as we test the thickness, it looks done to me. Take note of how it drips off, kind of in a sheet, and holds its shape. Again, as we run our finger across the back of the spoon, when we release it, there's a nice, clean, and crisp line where the lemon curd does not drip down. By the way, this is called nappe. Your lemon curd is now done cooking. Remove it from the heat and allow it to come to room temperature. As the mixture cools, it will continue to thicken quite a bit. Let's take a look once again using the back of a spoon to see how thick it is. This is what my lemon curd looked like after sitting on the counter for a few hours and coming down completely to room temperature. Notice how it doesn't drip off in small droplets, more like sheets, and holds a very nice, thick, crisp line when you use your finger to clear it off. This mixture will thicken even more as it's stored in the refrigerator. All there is left to do now is enjoy. And how can you enjoy it? Well, the options are endless. May I suggest spreading it on toast like you would jelly or jam? You could fill it into a tart and bake it. You can even put it over ice cream if you like. It is so versatile and delicious, you will not run out of opportunities to use it. The best part is that this lemon curd will actually store in your refrigerator for quite a few weeks. You do want to make sure that you put it into a container with an airtight fitting lid. Because there's so much butter, which has a high fat content, you don't want it to pick up any odors or any funky smells from your refrigerator. And that's it, guys. It is just that easy to make this delicious dessert at home tonight. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, while you're here, maybe check out some of my other videos. I know you'll like them. Come back again real soon for another Minimalist Gourmet.